All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. Back at it with a back to basics lessons going into the Proverbs, man. I'll bring out some Proverbs through the Spirit, and I pray it be edifying. All right, so first and foremost, Proverbs 1. And we'll start at 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction. So this is pretty much the purpose of the book of Proverbs, all right? To gather these things, to know wisdom, instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive instruction and wisdom, justice and judgment, equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. All right. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. So, obtaining to the wise counsels of the true men of Yahweh Shema Shai, we believe those men to be they of Great Millstone, the elders and apostles and brothers in their respective lots. All right, taking heed to correct doctrine, being able to study on your own to show yourselves approved. All these things are important in this journey, in this walk, as we come closer and closer to Jacob's trouble. The Lord said that wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. We're getting ready to come into a time where the Lord is going to remove sound doctrine off of the earth, and we're going to see the detriment of that. And the only people that's going to be able to navigate, of course, is the Lord's hopeful elect. And we gather this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding now. So that's why we're in the book of Proverbs. Let's go to verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So we didn't get taught that via our slave masters. They taught us the lack of fear of Yahweh Bahashem, or they taught us the lack of fear towards an idol, all right, which was no fear towards the Lord. They taught us in order to be saved, all we had to do was believe. Now we're understanding, coming back to the truth, coming back to the true fear of our power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So now we're getting to be knowledgeable, wise, and again, we're going to need that in a time like we're going to come into, a time like the earth has never seen before. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. 2/3 of the nation of Israel seems like a lot of Edomites, at least on a higher level, know what's going on. They know about the MOTB. They know who we are. It's 2/3 of the nation of Israel that seem to be moving out here like fools. They're despising wisdom. They're despising knowledge. They're not taking heed to sound doctrine. They're not taking heed to the warning that their father Yahweh is putting out among the earth via his servants, the prophets. Therefore, they're going to get caught up in this judgment that's going out, known as Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, this time like the earth has never seen before. So we're gathering these things, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, being able to be wise, or being able to be judges. That's what this thing is about as well. All right, we're learning how to be judges, being that we're going to, Lord willing, be judges under Malak Yahweh Shai for all eternity. So now we're having this experience, this human experience, man, because the Lord told us that we are gods, but we're learning, man, a right from wrong, cause and effect. We understand the detriments of going against Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. We understand that, hey, this isn't our rest, that this is a terrible situation in which we find ourselves, man, just waking up and seeing, oh man, we're in captivity again. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they deny that fact because they're settled on their lees here. They're comfortable. All right, that the scriptures speak about the Lord chastening those who he loves. Matter of fact, it's a proverb. Proverb chapter 3 and verse 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord Yahweh loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth, man. So that's a good thing. If you're being corrected, it means, hey, the Lord dealing with you as a loved child. And the scriptures also say, if you're not being chastened by the Lord, basically you're likened unto a bastard, going into illegitimate child, man. So we want to make sure, hey, that we have this rapport with Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah, that he's going to correct us, and that we're receptive of the correction process, or those correction procedures, man, because it's those procedures of correction which will keep us coming into fear of the Lord, man. And again, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and we're going to need much wisdom out here in these last and evil days, man. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 15. And it reads, my son, there it is again, my son, my son, my son, walk not thou in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path. Yeah, going into the path of the wicked. Also in the book of Exodus 23 and 2, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, man. Yeah, the path of the wicked, man, the path of the unrighteous, going and starting with Esau, Edom, hey, following a multitude to take that MOTB spoken of in the book of Revelation 13th chapter, man, following 2/3 in their behavior that they got from Esau, Edom, going against the Lord, continuing to call upon the idol when the name of Yahweh Shema Shah is being taught throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And we're not to follow these type of people and this type of behavior, man, because that type of mentality and behavior is going to lead into death, man. Slovakia. All right, let's go to the book of Proverbs again. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 25. All right, and abiding in the fear Yahweh Shema Shah will produce a certain level of confidence, and we're going to need that confidence as we come into a time like the earth has never seen before, dealing with things and situations that we've never been in before. But what we will have is that cause and effect experience of, again, praying for something, praying for protection, praying for substance, and watching it come to pass. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 25. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. And you know also that's in the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. So we saw in the book of Proverbs, the Lord is telling us, hey, don't be afraid when that sudden destruction cometh. Matter of fact, we should be watching for the thief to come, man. So we're watching for Yahweh Bashim Shah to steal the joy, the peace, the mirth, the folly from this place, man. So we're not going to be caught up in that sudden destruction. Hell, if you're settled on your leaves, then you are going to be caught up in this sudden destruction, man. And I was saying in plenty of epistles, it's not just the great tribulation, the sudden destruction thereof, but that can happen on a daily basis. Sudden destruction, sudden judgment, mashapat from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. So we should always be abiding in the fear of the Lord, man. All right. Sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, man. All right, they're not going to be able to escape all these calamities, the famine, the different perils, the persecution, pestilence, man, war, the spirit of division that the Lord is going to have. Yahweh Shah said he didn't come to send peace but a sword on the earth, man. All right, let's go to the book of Proverbs again. Proverbs chapter 3, and we'll go down to 30. Proverbs 3 and 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. So, going into Esau Edom, what he has, his substance, man, the benefits that he has from being wicked, the fact that he is a lover of money. The Bible says, the love of money is the root of all evil. Also, two-thirds of the nation of Israel, man, those that are prospering in their wickedness, man, we're not to envy these people, because we do know the ultimate outcome: shame, despair. And two-thirds of the nation of Israel, hey, they're going to be brought to everlasting shame and contempt. The scriptures speak about that, man. We're going to remember that. They're going to remember their error of their ways, that they're going to remember that they didn't serve Yahweh Shema Shah, that they mocked a king, Malaki Hawashah, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So again, we're not to envy our oppressors, man. It's envy and desire what he has, so much so that'll cause us to err in serving the Lord, and take that mark of the beast spoken of in the book of Revelation, man. Because you envy, you want what he has. Ultimately, shit is gonna come down to a point where you're going to want slash need slash want a provisions. We have to understand that those provisions come from Yahweh Hashem our Shah. So we're not to envy, trust in our oppressors, their provisions as well, man. We gotta trust and lean on to Yahweh Hashem our Shah, not our own understanding. Matter of fact, Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5, and it reads, trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, with all thine heart. Remember these proverbs, man, the wisdom, instructional, with all thine heart, and lean not into thine own understanding. Also putting on the whole armor of Yahweh Shema Shah, fasting, praying, abiding in these scriptures daily, being fed daily, feeding daily to the best of our ability through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. All these things we add into our spiritual bag, our spiritual tool bag, so that when we go out here in a time of the unknown, or a time like the earth has never seen before, we'll have something to stand on, man. A rock, Lord willing. Our faith is built upon that rock, which is Malaki Hawashah, the spirit of prophecy, the spirit of truth, man. All right, and we're starting to cleave onto it more and more, that we see that everybody on this damn earth is bugged out except the true servants of Yahweh Shema Shah. Obviously, these false prophets are dangerous, man. They're playing a dangerous game, going back into the love of money, the love of fame, fortune. And we see the Lord exposing these things, a lot of it this year. So again, we're not to envy our oppressors, man. Proverbs 4 and 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil man. Going back into not following that multitude to do evil, okay? Following not the multitude to take that mark of the beast, man. We keep telling these things for a reason, because it's going to come a time where the Lord is going to try, all right, the inhabitants of the earth, and it's going to be very tempting to take that MOTB. We got to remember to trust in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. That's the point of these daily epistles, man, to keep us motivated and understanding what time it is, man. We cleave on to this truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. All right, in hopes that the Lord will remember our attempts at righteousness, man. Our attempts at being decent people, because it's finna get real and it's finna go down, man. But just a quick one through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Just some quick proverbs to keep us wise men and women out here. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Till next time, Shalom.